I would like for everyone to stand, please. This is Lift Every Voice and Sing, and you will have a flyer with the song. Okay. All right. Turn it up, honey. Okay. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let every sound loud as a roaring sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. In the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Verse 2, I'll sing all three. Starting the road we trod, into the chestnut rod, built in the days with hope on board. You all got the flyers. Sing now. You got the flyers. And not our weary feet come to the place for which our Father sighed. Oh yeah, come on now. We have come over a grave that the tears have been watered. We have come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last. Shadowy gleam. Oh, that's a misprint right there. God, it's verse 3. God of our weary verse. God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on our way, thou who hast might and might, let us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. Here, this is the best one right here. Come on now, y'all. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Here we go. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand. True to our God, true to our native land. Thank you all for your participation.
Sure. Juneteenth. Well, once again, thank everybody. I'm Brother Anthony, WSYP 95.1, Sankofa Revolutionary Radio. You can catch me 8 to 9, Monday through Friday, right here on the east side, every day. And by the way, Mondays we do a health and wellness program. try to heal our people health-wise. So join us. We got a lot of issues. So we got Brother Heru, who join us every Monday to eradicate some of those diseases like cancer and all the other things that impact our community. So that's Monday, but Monday through Friday, 8 to 9. Let's do some housekeeping and we'll get started. Make sure, please, if you don't mind, mute your telephone, put it on silence if you can. Put that on silence. Put all your devices on silence. The purpose of this forum is threefold. The purpose of the forum is threefold. Number one, to empower you, the voters, through political education. All right? We tend to come out with name recognition and vote folks based on that only sometimes. So we want to educate the electors, the voters. Number two, cultivate a culture of reciprocal accountability. All right? Magic word is that, and that is all is accountability. And three, and hear the candidates. We want to hear from, that's why you came. You want to hear from the candidates today. And for the record, we did invite every candidate to the east side, to this forum. We invited everyone. We're going to ask them why they're not here. Okay? But we invited them all. So we want to hear from the candidates to discuss their plan to address all the issues in this election. And by the way, the committee is a non-partisan, no endorsement. We didn't endorse any candidates for the record. So the rules, let me go over the rules with you. And before I do that, and I'll introduce and allow the candidates to introduce themselves. But let's go over the rules so you understand the rules. All right, so the candidates will have a 2-minute time for opening remarks. And the candidates got this information prior to. So you'll have a 2-minute opening statement or opening remark. And 2 minutes for closing statement. You got 2 minutes to make your closing statement. And timekeeper, where are you? Timekeeper will give, she's over here, she's going to give you a 15-second warning. And I don't know what you want to do to give that 15-second warning, but you'll hear from her in 15 seconds. Voters, folks out there in the audience, you've been given cards. We got folks who have given their questions in prior to. So the moderator has those questions. You have an opportunity to have your questions. You're going to have 2 opportunities, by the way, to ask those questions. We want to be as fair as we can here. So those are the rules. And I should have done this up front, but where's Donald Mack? Donald Mack, he's the owner of this beautiful establishment. Let's give everybody a round of applause. I want to thank him. And we wanted to do it in a black-owned business, by the way. So we thank Donald Mack. Donald Mack didn't charge us a dime. He said, come on out and get it done. So let's make sure we support Donald Mack in this business. All right? I want to introduce my brother Tommy Dunny, and he's Tommy Dunny, yes. And Sister Yolanda Flowers, right there holding it. All right, so I'm gonna pass the mic over to my good brother Tommy Dunny.
Thank you, sir. Again, thank everyone for coming out this evening. It's all about information and being informed voters. This is why all the candidates are here to answer your questions that you may have or may think that you may have after you hear what some of the other questions that have been submitted beforehand. So everyone received a index card, 3x5 index card. So if you have any additional questions that you would like to ask, you will have time allotted to ask those questions. At this time, I'd also like to welcome the 2 moderators along with myself. This is Kathy Adams.
Raise your hand, Miss Adams.
Raise your hand. All right. That's right. And Pastor Gwen Webb is here.
Yeah.
We'll be the 2 moderators in addition to myself. And with that said, Tashita Holmes, she's our timekeeper for this evening's event. And with that said, we'll get started. We have no particular arrangement set for the candidates, and there will be no particular arrangements in which we ask the questions of them. Again, I will repeat, there's 2 minutes. Each candidate has 2 minutes to get up and well, they don't have to get up, but 2 minutes to give an opening speech, and there'll be 2 minutes to answer each additional questions. So, with that said, like I said, we'll get this party started.
Okay.
And we'll start with Mr. Goldsmith.
Well, again, hello, this is working. All right, looks like I always seem to go first at events like this. I am an educator, so I have a written prepared speech that I'm gonna go over. It's gonna take exactly 90 seconds. Good evening, friends and neighbors, and the proud members of District 1 who are in this meeting today. I stand before you not as a politician, but as a person who's lived in this community. I walk these streets, I work in these schools, I worship in the church with you, and I have basically been around here for about 30 years. And I want to tell you at this point, I'm running for District 1, not because I care about the politics, because I'm concerned about my community. As a neighborhood president, I've listened to the concerns of our citizens, and I know that we're at a crossroad at this point. When I first moved over here, we had all type of restaurants and places that we could go, if you remember. If you remember how the streets were before we moved over here. And it was very random that you heard a gunshot. So my thing is, I'm running for District 1, not against the person, but for the seat. Because I feel that I have the ability to change the things that's in the seat. And what you need now is a way maker and a change maker. And I'm that person. I'm Dr. Willie Goldsmith. I was once the principal of Huffman High School down the street. You proud Vikings in here, I hope we have some in here. And remember, we didn't lose any games at all. And I promise you that if I'm in this position, we're not gonna lose then either. If you was there at Huffman High School, you know what it was like. And you know what it took. I walked and I talked. But what I did, I treated everyone with respect, and I listened to everything that you had to say. You need a voice. You don't need someone that just sits there and wave their hands. And if you don't know, we're at a crossroads. Birmingham's like a school that's on state takeover. And we got and if you're an Auburn fan, I forgive you, but you got Tommy Tuberville saying what he gonna do with Birmingham. And what can he do? And he couldn't even win with Auburn. So, I'm asking for your vote, not as just a candidate, but as a concerned citizen. And if you're here today, I know that you too are concerned. Thank you for your time, and God bless you.
7 seconds to go.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm LaShonda Scales. Currently, I serve as the county commissioner for this district. I make no bones about it. I started off as a neighborhood officer and a proud Birmingham City Council member representing this area. I am running because I believe that the soul of our city is at stake. And that's the reason why our slogan is, let's take back our city. This is our city. Too long we've been on the outside trying to get on the inside. Still begging for the same thing 30 years later. Well, enough is enough. When I was a council member, I knew my job, and that was to advocate, to legislate, to pass a balanced budget that included District 1, and to put board members on those things that I know concern District 1. As your mayor, I understand that I have the ability to enforce the laws, not tell you that you are the problem, and that's the reason why we can't solve it. In addition to that, we are responsible for making sure that we run the daily operations of this city. You also have the ability to hire whatever the city needs in order to fix Birmingham's problems. And lastly, you have boards that only the mayor can appoint to. I am the only candidate that's going to be talking about state takeover. First of all, we're going to be tough on this violence. Those of you all that know me know that I've always been an advocate. You should never be afraid to live in the home where you live. I don't care if it's an apartment or if it's a home. You go to work every day, you should come home and be at peace. In addition to that, we're talking about no further state takeover, and I'll talk more about that when we continue on with this conversation. And lastly, our folk got to go to work. You can't tell folk to get off the street, to be all that they can be and be productive members of society, and don't provide them a livable wage job. I look forward to our discussion, and don't be afraid to ask the tough questions of every candidate, including the ones you don't see.
Good evening. How's everybody? I'm Kamal Africa. I was born in Smithfield in 1956. Attended Wilkerson. Went to Parker for a short time, then I got a scholarship to a religious academy. I'm running because I'm a victim in this city. When I got a young grandson, we didn't have any rec centers in our community. I had to drive to Bessemer after Birmingham Southern closed down. You're talking about a candidate that's been proactive doing things for 40 years in this community. Not as a paid city council person, a paid state representative, or a paid county commission. Major things, like for instance, you're talking about Bobby Frank Cherry that walked free for 39 years. I was the one that filed the amicus brief that got him sent to Brighton for psychiatric evaluation to see if he was fit to stand trial for the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church. The rest of the story is that he was tried because they found that he was fit. No other lawyers, no lawyers in this city did that. I did that. I was the only one that fought for Birmingham Southern to be sold to A&M. Any A&M graduates in here? Any ties to A&M? I should not lose one A&M vote. In terms of rec centers, you got one out here by Jeff State, but I can tell you what you don't have. When my parents were the third black family that moved directly across from Sun Valley Elementary, you had prime grocery stores out here. You had movie theaters out here. You didn't have any gunfire. That is what you need out here, plus other things. You got a lot of problems with a lot of rental properties now, people coming in that are not property owners, and the owners are moving to Trustful, Shelby County, and other places. So I want to fight for this community, but I want to fight for the entire city. We don't have any balance in contracts for black contractors in particular. We have to end poverty by giving our people jobs. That is very important. The Boys Club, I raised them $8,000 in my community on a place called The Yard. For Wilkerson School, $7,400, okay? I am not an elected official.
Mr. Kamal,
Thank
your
you.
time's up. We appreciate it.
Brian K. Rice. For 15 years, I've kept this picture in my office when I lived in Charlotte, when I lived in Houston. This is the reason why I came back to Birmingham. I framed it. This is the reason why. All of these are those who are charged with homicides. I don't have no desire to lock them up. I want to figure out a way to alter the path before they break the law. We have to get to crime prevention. When they make the mistake, let's lock them up. But let's focus on crime prevention. We are not focusing on crime prevention. We are the 5th highest incarcerated place in the entire world. That is why I am in Birmingham, because of this picture, and I keep it close to me. Since he mentioned A&M, I am an A&M graduate. I go back and I speak to the School of Engineering because I've traveled around the world. I've traveled around the country, several hundred manufacturing plants. I want to bring trades. I want to build up skills. I want my homeless men working that I see in this city. I want those who are addicted working. I want everybody working in this city. I want to bring resources to our under-resourced communities. I'm the only person in the United States of America with a $0 appraisal. I am about resources. I want to bring resources to our communities. I want to protect our small business. I want to protect our tax base. And the last part of it, on day one, I will make sure I grant permission to change the Mayor-Council Act, because our city councilors need their power to be able to speak up for all of you. I will make sure
they have the power to speak up for everyone, and only the mayor can grant that permission. I know I will lose some power, but it's about the people. We must separate the powers of executive branch and legislative branch and judicial branch. The executive branch should not have the attorney telling the city council what to do.
Time.
Got it. Thank you.
2 minutes, because I tend to go over all the time. So, first of all, I'm ready.
Go ahead, John. John.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeremy Littlepage, and I'm proud to stand here before you today to speak with you all. Not just as a 26-year-old mayor candidate, but as a product of this city. I was raised in these streets of Birmingham, shaped by our struggles and inspired by our strength. I'm running because I believe Birmingham is ready for bold leadership and a fresh vision, rooted in community, opportunity, and progress. Some people say I'm too young, but I say our city needs new energy, not old excuses. Our elders fought for civil rights right here on this soil. They didn't wait for permission to lead, and I won't either. I'm running to make our neighborhood safer, not with just more patrols, but with trust, more opportunity, and real investment in our youth programs and mental health services. I'm running to tackle housing affordability because no one working 40+ hours should be priced out of a decent home. I'm running to bring jobs and job ownership back to our communities. We're going to invest in black neighborhoods, support local entrepreneurs, and open doors for the next generation. Not just to work, but to lead. And above all, I'm running to unite this city from East Lake to Ensley, from Woodlawn to West End, because Birmingham rises when we rise together. This campaign isn't just about me, it's about us. It's about building a Birmingham where our kids feel safe, our seniors are respected, and our communities are heard. Let's make history again. Let's build Birmingham that works for everyone. Thank you, God bless you, and let's win this together. And remember, as the economy grows in this city, the cost of neglect is more expensive.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Richard Franklin. I'm running for City Council, District 9. How many of you been to North Birmingham? How many of you been to Wildland? How many of you been to Ensley? How many of you been to East Thomas? We have 19 neighborhoods in my district. We have 6 schools and we have 18 parks. I will be representing the district when I'm your council person that's been neglected for years. The lowest medium income in our district is $22,000 and the highest is $32,000. All of us in this room that are adults understand that you cannot survive off of that. I'm going to make it simple. This is about economics, it's about investing in our children, it's about investing in our communities. My slogan is very simple: we deserve better. I've been to the city of Birmingham AFT, Teachers Union. I know how to advocate. I also know about doing a balanced budget. I also understand about being the legislative branch of something. But most of all, we need to pay attention about the council and mayor appointing the boards. Because you sitting in this room, I bet none of you have never served on any of the boards that we've been electing people to represent. The purpose of me saying all of that is that I worked at that school across the street, but I live on the western side of town. It's 99,000 people that live on the western side of town. The challenge that we have is not just about me winning, but finding a mayor and council that works together for the good of the people. On August 26th, if you live in District 9, vote for Richard Franklin for City Council because you feel the movement coming. It's not just in District 9, you see what's going on in this city. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you guys for this opportunity. I'm Antoine Womack, a product of Birmingham, born and raised in this city, attended city schools in Birmingham. Each and every last one of these candidates that are up here are running for municipal office. But their job will not be in existence if you do not have a school system. I am running for the Birmingham Board of Education, District 8. Each and every last one of us know what Birmingham City Schools about 10 years ago used to look like. We all know that not only did the state come in and take over our school system, But we watch teachers, hard-paying teachers, lose jobs. We watch custodians walk out. We watch the attendance of Birmingham City Schools in the last 25 years go from 72,000 to now at 23. I say all of that to say that our school system is at its highest peak it has been in the last 30 years. Let me give you some facts, and I hope that you guys listen and ask your school board candidates who are running. For the first time in 30 years, Birmingham City Schools enrollment is up. Families are coming back. Second thing that I want you to know is that back in the 90s, all of our schools had teacher aides in them. All of our elementary schools have teacher aides in them now. Lastly but least, for the first time in over 25 years, all of Birmingham City Schools are efficient in math and in reading. That is huge. And the only reason that we were able to do that is because, guess what? They followed the data, but they also put your tax dollars, and I'm closing. They put your tax dollars in the classroom. I'm Antoine Womack, and I am ready to serve and continue to fight for our children. Thank you.
Hello, how's everyone doing? Hello. My name is Joseph Holt. I'm running for District 4 City Council. Very simple. I have a Hope Foundation where I teach kids how to do trades. I've been in the community forever. I grew up in Kingston. I grew up in Woodlawn. I live in Woodlawn. I'm running because the elderly called me and asked me to run. I'm running because I don't understand how Kingston has been in poverty since I was a little boy. It's still in poverty. I don't understand how Inglenook has been in poverty since I was a little boy and it's still in poverty. Collegeville is still in poverty. East Birmingham is still in poverty. No money is getting to the areas that I grew up in District 4. We don't have nobody being open and transparent about where the money is going. We're not seeing any money in our neighborhoods, and we're still living in poverty. We need somebody in the office that's going to tell the truth, that represents the people. I sit on the porch with Archer's Gunn. If you know who Archer's Gunn is, he ran for city council, he was a man of integrity. We need somebody in a position that has integrity, that's going to tell you. I meet people in airport, they have the homeless living in their woods. They're setting fires. If their house get caught on fire, they're done. They're homeless next. But nobody's caring. The people in the neighborhood tell me they have no voice. Nobody answers the phone. Nobody calls them back. We need to put somebody in office that's from the neighborhood, that's for the people, that cares for the people. I can't make you vote. I can't make you tell somebody. But it's up to you to find somebody, to vote for somebody that has integrity, that cares about you. I promise that I care about the kids. I promise I'm gonna care about the elderly. Mr. Jimmy Smith reached out to me and we helped him get him on the news and make sure his story gets told. I'm here strictly for the people. I do not understand how my neighborhood I grew up in is still in poverty and the city councilman got $3 million. We don't know where the money is. Where is the money? But nobody is talking to the people about where the money is. You gotta put somebody in there that's gonna tell you every dime where it's going. It's not reaching our neighborhoods, and it's a shame. And it breaks my heart that I grew up in Kingston and I was 10 years old, but right now it's still in poverty. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. I'm an outlier. I'm Moses Whitaker, but I'm running for city council in the city of Centerpoint. Centerpoint intersects Birmingham, Birmingham intersects Centerpoint, so I think it's vital to come out to events like this to reach the residents inside the city of Birmingham as well and create partnerships. But the reason I'm running for Centerpoint City Council, one of the primary reasons is public safety. I've been there 12 years, and the number one thing that comes up is public safety. Yeah, we have the sheriff's department, but we don't have an adequate response time from the sheriff's department. And we talk to the council and we advocate for a police department, and we're always told we don't have the money, it'll bankrupt the city. Well, looking at 4 years worth of budgets, I believe the money is there. If you look at some of the spending the city has done, the city staff has ballooned, a lot of trips have been taken by council members and city staff. I think if we streamline the budget, I think we can afford a small police department and grow from there. My second thing while I'm running for council is to light the parkway. Centerpoint has 3.5 miles of roadway that's inside the city, and it's pretty much dark. And we've been told over and over again that we can't afford streetlights for the bankrupt the city. Well, in 2025, there's a thing called solar power streetlights. So there's a way, an efficient way to light the parkway We just have to have bold leadership with a fresh vision to advocate for those things and not always giving an excuse. And also our city parks. Our city parks need to be invested in. We have 2 parks in the city of Centerpoint, Reed Harvey Park and Silvertown Park. And there's enough money again in that budget, I believe, if we spend money the right way and efficiently, we can invest into our parks. Like we just spent $250,000 on the outdoor exercise equipment. It is beautiful. But over that $250,000 was put into Reed Harvey Park or put into Silvertown Park to refresh the grass, to turn back some of the trees, to just highlight some things that's already there, and to highlight a beautiful natural spring that we have in the city. And the third thing, last thing, is making the parkway safer for pedestrians. We have a lot of foot traffic on the parkway as well. So investing into sidewalks and crosswalks and lights.
Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? My name is Jasmine Deloach and I'm running for Centerpoint City Council District 1. I'm running because I believe we can do more in Centerpoint. Back in the days, going up and down the parkway and going to Centerpoint, it was scary because it was always police patrolling in and out of the neighborhoods. They was always people that they didn't think that was supposed to be there. They will make sure they're going to the right direction and not to go breaking nobody's house or anything. I have a big problem with public safety. I think Centerpoint can do better. Number 2, public relations. You gotta work with the people and the people gotta work with you. If we can't work together, we can't get nothing accomplished. We gotta work with our fellow councilors. We gotta work with our mayor. We gotta stand up and work with everybody to get to have a good city. You know, we can't be back and forth and biased towards each other. Third, economic development. I have a big issue with economic development with Centerpoint. Centerpoint used to be flourishing. It used to be a lot. Now there's a lot of businesses leaving. There's a lot of things are going on now that they're trying to bring back with giving out grants and stuff to city of Centerpoint, people that's coming in with businesses. But I want y'all to understand that it takes people to show up at these city council meetings, the town hall meetings. You can't just talk about it, you gotta be about it, you gotta stand up and hold people accountable. And I wanna be that person that you hold accountable. My name is Jasmine Deloach. I say Google me, look me up on social media, do your research. Before Deloach, my name was Sanders. Let me tell you something. You'll know that I got a proven track history of working with people for free. Now it's my time, and I say elect Jasmine Deloach, August the 26th, for District 1 Centerpoint City Council. You want somebody that work for you and not get a position and sit there and not do anything. So I want y'all to understand, if you don't live in my area, you tell somebody to vote Deloach. District 1 Centerpoint City Council. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Frederick Burks, and I'm running for Mayor of Centerpoint. I'm running for Mayor of Centerpoint because it's running out of time. It's running out of time. Businesses are leaving, residents are leaving, and the people are feeling unsafe. We got to do something about it. We cannot continue to do the same thing that we've done before. We have to change our demographic. We have to change the way we think. Stop saying that we can't afford it and start saying what we can do to afford it. We got to change what you see in Centerpoint. Buildings are empty. Houses are vacant. We got to move the people back in. Take back our residents. Take back our neighborhoods. I'm doing this. I'm running to bring back Centerpoint. And I'm asking that you vote for me, Frederick Burks, on August 26th. Amen.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Councilman Glenn Williams. I'm the councilman for Centerpoint. And I've been councilman for 5 years. And I've been fighting for, like Mr. Burke say, for a police department. But I learned that I can't do it myself. I don't know if any of y'all are from Centerpoint. I say Centerpoint because I'm from New Orleans. But moving forward, I am here for the people. And I'm the only candidate for Centerpoint. All the other council person, they're females, they decided not to run. So I'm the only one out here running. I'm the only one have 2 competition against me because somebody choose them 2 competition to come against me. Now, I'm the only person that constantly have town hall meeting. I had 5 people today. I had one just today at 12 o'clock. It was like 55 to 60 people in there. That's the most I ever had. But one of my biggest problems that you're gonna have is people don't show up. When y'all start showing up and y'all start telling the city councils what y'all need, and y'all start telling the mayors what y'all need, they will react to it. But most people, they'll talk on the internet, talk this, but we have to work together as a team. And we will make Centerpoint a better city. I'm Councilman Glenn Williams. I'm running for election. Thank y'all.
First of all, thank you all. Before my minutes, I'm running late. I've had to judge a dance competition with about 1,000 little young dancers. Make it make sense, Birmingham. But I am State Representative Wanda Lynn Gavan, and that is also why I'm dressed like this. But real quickly, I am State Representative Wanda Lynn Lily Gavan, the lady you all see on the TV every day or every other day with the big glasses and the pink lipstick. But I am here as a candidate for mayor of the city of Birmingham. I closed yesterday with this. You all have tried every kind of man. An old man, short man, tall man, young man, light and dark. But you have never tried a woman. And I am putting myself in this position because of the issues of crime, transportation, our roads. The answer is always no, 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 no. It reminds me of that Beyonce song, I think it's Say My Name, and there's a chorus, but simply this. I'm running because I want to restore these neighborhoods. I want to replace or put back that money that is owed to the neighborhoods when they were cut down from 10,000 to 2,000. I want to put in a plan for a neighborhood action participation patrol. So we're going to work at the revitalization of these neighborhoods. I want arts back in the schools. I want these swimming pools open. I want these parks renovated and redeveloped. It is unacceptable that the people on this side have to go all the way 20 miles to the Family Fun Center on the other side when you have at least 15 neighborhoods in between. Make it what? Make sense, everybody. Again, I am State Representative Wanda Lynn Gavan. Let's give our children something to do. Let's redo these event centers and community centers. Let's put stripes on the playgrounds. Let's put nets up to the goals. Let's beautify our neighborhoods, fix these sidewalks, fix these streets. Most importantly, let us be a people that will answer to you, the people who have elected us. So the answer, instead of being no, 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 will be yes, 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 yes. State Representative Wanda Lynn Gavan, I'm in House District 60, but I am a candidate for mayor of the city of Birmingham, and I did approve this message.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Frank Woodson. I don't have a want list of a lot of stuff that I want, but I do have a do list. Birmingham's a magic city, but it's not going to take magic to fix it. We just have to work. We got potholes. They put 15 million toward potholes the last 3 years. Guess what? That doesn't work. So we need to do something different. And what we'll do, we'll simply just hold the people accountable. When they cut our streets, the way the law says 3 times, then those utility companies repave it. I told you, it's not magic. These are things that we can do. I've worked with 2 presidential administrations in stabilizing communities, feeding communities during the pandemic. I've worked with 3 governors. I know what to do with the abandoned properties and the like. I was the chairman of the state of Alabama's Land Bank Authority. I know how we're supposed to use the land bank instead of enriching lawyers and friends, brothers, and in-laws. And then lastly, I know what to do when it comes to taking care of our communities. I am an operations person. I've worked in management with UPS and operations, developed a program that re-engineered UPS worldwide, but now it's time to work at home. We need a city that actually works. No magic, no pizzazz, No guy all in the video. You don't need a pop star. You just need someone that will bring not men or women, but men and women, the best of the best, to bring them together and put them in the forefront. Leaders, and I am an established leader. Economic development. I've worked with small businesses across Alabama, and I worked on Blueprint Birmingham for a year, meeting with leaders to figure out how we're going to do economic development for the next 30 years. The only thing that's happening, the plans are there, we're good at planning, but what we don't have is someone that actually executes. There is no Family Fun Center, and there won't be until 2027 at the earliest.
Okay, let's pass that to Mr. Deloach. Thank you, candidates. Now we're going to get into the meat of this thing here. Mrs. Deloach, here's a question for you. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I couldn't see that.
Good afternoon. Excuse my tardiness. Just very a gentle giant in the city who was responsible for 39 years of making sure the MLK Unity Breakfast went on with great success. And so rest in peace, Brother Carlton. I stand here like many of these other candidates because every 4 years you get to make a choice. You get to make a decision about who you choose to hire. That's right, your vote is actually an hiring stamp. And when you hire someone, you want that person to represent you with the utmost ability. I ask you if you have your cell phone, because I'm not going to take time, I don't even know how much time I have. But just take out your cell phone, and I want you to type in these words. My name is Jonathan Hatton, and I want you to put Ann Birmingham City Schools. And there you'll find where in January I was awarded by the Board of Education for going over and beyond the call of duty. Going over and beyond the call of duty is not something that I just won, that's something who I am. I always go 150. Whether I'm pastoring or teaching, I go 150. Why 150? Because obviously, haphazardly, Birmingham hasn't been going 150 for us. On the west side of town where I live and reside, there are burned buildings, bumpy roads, and boarding homes. There are halfway houses where people are living in transitional stages, but they get lost in the system, and now they're left wondering who's going to fill and feed them. So they go and beg and bomb on the side of the road. They go and stay under the bridges. And we have a situation in Birmingham, and I think, and I know that my fresh perspectives can offer change. I'm not making promises, because promises, according to the Mayor Council Act, won't allow me to keep. But fresh perspectives, I will. Number one, my office will be accountable and transparent. What does that mean? I'm glad you asked. Transparent means I provide you pertinent information before you ask me. Honesty is when you ask me the question and I give you an honest response. Number two, I also will provide by aiding mental health agencies across the city that can pull up and help us out. As you know, most of the issues that we're facing stems from mental health. All of us may not have a mental illness, but guess what? All of us have been impacted by tragedy, loss, and debris. Vote Jonathan L. Hatton, and let's make a fresh face for a fresh start. God bless you.
As I say, we'll get into the meat of the questions here. And the first question for Mrs. Deloach, you will have, well, let me just say this, because we had additional candidates to show up. We originally only had 13 to commit. We had some other people to show up and I believe that's a good thing, because we need to have all the opinions that we can get for ways that we can take care of our communities. So with that said, we're going to just slightly tweak the time to 1 minute. Okay, and here's your question. What is your motivation for running for your office?
Well, my motivation is fighting for the people and working with the people. I do it free anyway. I've been doing it. I've been out in these communities. I've been working for the people. I always show up for everybody. Now I need the community to show up for me and let me work for you and show you what I can do and how I can do it. And I ask that you give me a chance, because if I can work for free for you, imagine what I can do with the tax dollars. I can get a whole lot of stuff done. And I did develop a lot of relationships with a lot of people. So I can be that person and go to these people and say, hey, we need this. And have these conversations. And people don't understand, but it's all about relationship. You gotta have relationships, and you gotta be able to get along with people. And I am that person. I am that person, that public servant that show up for the people, show up for the community, and work for the people. Vote Deloach.
Okay, the next person. The question is, how long have you lived in the city, and how would you characterize the city's quality of life?
I've lived in the city of Centerpoint for 12 years, and the quality of life on a scale of 1 to 5, and 5 being the greatest, I would give it a 3. There's not a lot of variety of businesses and leisure things to do in the city, so I think that could be improved. I think bolstering or enhancing the city's grant opportunities to businesses, increasing that with city dollars will help bring businesses in and also retain businesses.
I want to ask a question and I'm not sure exactly which one of you can answer this, but I want to ask it because it's from the audience. There is a program, the city of Birmingham has a program that's called the Birmingham Promise, which is and the question is this a 4-year fully paid scholarship, or is it a supplement to help with college tuition? Okay, thank you.
I am so glad you asked that question, because I was asked this question a few days ago after I did a podcast, because there is a belief that the Birmingham Promise is a full ride scholarship. It is not. It is a stipend program, and students typically only get the funds at the end of that particular semester or what have you, to help offset a balance. So for instance, if you all went to school, when I went to school, I got a UNCF scholarship. Well, I would get the UNCF scholarship if I had a bill, and it would maybe $500. It could be $1,000, it could be $15. But the Birmingham Promise, and the way it is promoted, is if it is actually sending kids to school for a full 4-year matriculation at a college or university. And it is absolutely not set up for that, nor structured for that. And at the end of the day, I'm not knocking the program, because I don't want anyone to say that, but the answer was whether it's a full scholarship, and it is absolutely not. It is a stipend program to assist and offset costs at the semester. Thank you.
Well, I have a question to follow up on that.
Are you letting everybody?
I can answer it if it's about the Birmingham.
Yeah, because my question is, does that mean that they have to pay up front for for school, and at the end of the semester it comes back to them?
So the way that the program is laid out, it's called a last mile scholarship. So even if we've got a program where we've given over $100 million in college scholarships. But what happens is, when you have kids that are first generation, they have a lot of last things that are left over. And so when they need, whatever, after they tally, they have to apply for all of the financial aid they can get. Right? They got to use every public dollar that they can scratch up. And then when that balance is left over, then the admissions office, then turns, that's where the city engages them on that last little bit that is left over. But it's the last bit. And so the question is always, has been for everyone, is it worth taking the $2 million? Thank you. From Birmingham City Schools.
So I'm glad we asked that question. First of all, I think you need to ask the author of the person who decided to come up with Birmingham Promise, because before then it was my brother's keeper. That's the good thing about having institutional knowledge as to how this works. The bottom line is very simple. How many students can you send to any four-year institution with $2 million? That's right. The real question you need to be asking the mayor is why you have $0 in the classroom from kindergarten through 12th grade. But to answer your question, that means that, as he said, you have to apply for every application in terms of whether it's a scholarship. It says it's a last-ditch option. That's what it is. But only a few can even get through that window. And I want to also caution all of us on this. If a child cannot read, write, and do simple math, how can you get beyond 12th grade and actually perform in a four-year institution or a two-year institution if you have not been properly educated?
Thank you, Dan. Mr. Burke?
That's not for the city. That's not for Centerpoint doesn't apply.
Well, we're moving on to the next question.
Okay.
I think we've had two rebuttals to that question. As a paid employee of the citizens of your city, will you consent to a random drug test?
Yes.
Okay, pass the mic.
Yes, I have no problem with consenting to any test that would, as a police officer, I have taken I don't know how many tests, and each time it's always been the same. For an employee of the city of Centerpoint, yes, I would do that.
All right, if you would pass to Mr. Franklin. And we're going to continue that question on. Your response.
Of course I would take a drug test. I represent employees and I worked in the school system. So every job I've ever been on, you had to take a drug test.
Okay. Mr. Kamal.
I want you all to know again, I've been campaigning since August of last year, and I started out here in the western side. I was the very first candidate to call for not just a regular drug test, but a hair follicle test that goes back 10 years. I think it's imperative that we know what is in the bodies of our civil servants. So I was the one that first called, and it was in the paper. I challenged all the mayoral candidates to a hair follicle test that goes back 10 years. Didn't get any takers. And I'm not saying that anybody's doing drugs, but I used to smoke a lot of marijuana. Used to sell a lot of marijuana, just didn't get caught. This is before the RICO law. I mean, I'm serious. Real bad boy driving a Porsche 911 at age 23. You know where I was getting that money from. So, but it's very serious. We have a problem that happened over in Homewood just the other night.
Yeah.
Had that child's parents.
Thank you, Mr. Kamal.
Okay.
All right, if you would pass to Mr. Rice.
First of all, my first job was at a nuclear weapons plant. You know, I had top secret security clearance. They went through my entire background. So, you know, I'm in manufacturing right now. I travel across the country right now. Sometimes I put on the blue collar stuff. Sometimes I got the white collar stuff on, but they drug test me on a regular basis right now. So I'm okay with it. I've never drank. I never drunk anything. You know, so this is who I am. You know, I am about being clean. I'm about integrity. I'm about accountability. I'm the only one who's got about 2,500 pages sitting in the Department of Justice, the FBI, the Department of the Treasury, you know, the Ethics Commission, the State Attorney General on accountability of the city of Birmingham. I will not turn my back on you.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. Mr. Leatherface.
Yes, I'm willing to take a drug test. I'm currently in the U.S. Army Reserves, so that's normal.
Mr. Van.
Listen, make it make sense. The answer is simply, absolutely, 100% yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
All right, I tell you what, let's just, with a raise of hand. Raise a hand. Now, we see that all of them said, right? Everyone said they will take a random drug test. I got my hand. Okay, let's get back. Let's get back to it. Sister Webb, your question.
First of all, I am so happy to be a retired cop to see all of you on camera. Raise your hand. How will your administration address the economic disparities facing black neighborhoods? Did you get that? I think that is one that everybody can answer quickly. I would like for Miss Gavan and Miss Scales.
You gotta put a man in there.
You don't have to.
I just said we tried every kind of man, old man, short man, light man, black man, everything. But listen, simply, this is a great question. Birmingham is still almost 75% black.
Exactly.
Yes, it is. When you finish, Birmingham is still roughly, give or take, 75, close to 75% black. But we are still living in, to an extent, economic apartheid, racial apartheid. The question is always simply, what about us? At the end of the day, why can't black contractors get jobs? Why can't black contractors build houses? Why can't black contractors handle the homeless contracts that are needed in the city of Birmingham? Why can't black mom and pop stores be open? Why? Because we're not putting an emphasis on the people who need it the most. Under my administration, I have been running on this and I've been about this. We're going to open these old doors around Roebuck. We're going to open them up in Inslee, in North Birmingham, and we're going to put viable businesses for economic and not only economical wealth for black folks, but generational wealth. Make it make sense to everybody.
To simply put, if you want to judge a man or a woman by what they will do, you judge them by what they've already done. All right. As a council member, I never had a problem with advocating what every part of the city needs, and that includes black folks. See, if you make it accessible to all people, then you don't have to worry about whether they're black or white. You'll be driven by green. And I am tired of all of our black and brown communities being identified by crime-ridden, dirty areas, no stores, all the stores that were there, they're leaving. Well, all you got to do as the mayor is use the revised Mayor Council Act, Section 4.06. You, as the mayor, every department head works at the pleasure of the mayor. The mayor is the one that directs the traffic and tells you exactly what to do. And I'm going to clear up one other, I won't do it right now, but to talk about what the council don't have, that requires state law amendment. Yeah. What the mayor does is to make sure you tell the Office of Economic Development, this is where we need to go and this is what we're going to do.
Thank you.
All right.
You want to?
Yeah, I ain't
15 seconds?
I want to yield to Brian because he knows opportunities.
Okay. Give me 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Opportunity zone.
Why? LaShonda Scales was in the office in the beginning of 2018. Every legislator in this state knows about my opportunity zone filings. Local, city, state. Not one has ever spoken up for all the black communities on the west side that have been excluded for 10 years, from 2018 to 2028. Not one has spoken up. I'm the only one in the United States of America who has filed that lawsuit. Only one to speak up.
Let me address. Wait a minute, wait, let me clear something up here. This is not a situation where we're gonna be here going back and forth between the counties.
It's only because he said my name. I'm not
Well,
talking
well, that's
about
why I'm
that
cleaning it
thing.
up right now. We're not going, this is not gonna be an attack mode forum.
Can I
We'll
ask 10 seconds
answer,
to rebut that?
we'll give you 10 seconds, but that's it.
Okay.
We're not here to attack each other.
That's right.
We're just going to answer the question.
Okay, that's right. That's right. Again, I say what you will do. I'm not going to point the finger at any of these folks because they're not the man. But remember this one thing. When you say a person's name, they have the right to rebut. And what I am saying is that I am not the state of Alabama. I represent Jefferson County Commission. That's why you run for mayor, because your hands are tied. I can't speak to his district, his nothing. Study the law. Because I want you all to understand, August 26th is too critical for us to be playing games.
That's right. Come on now. Say it. Right by that school.
Go ahead.
So there are two parts to that question. One has to do with community development. That means that you're putting the infrastructure dollars and the like into the community and keeping them up just like you do every other part of the community. That takes leadership. You hire the right people and you make sure that they do that. We've got to do that. It isn't being done, and the council people have not held the mayor accountable. She's exactly right. It is the mayor that makes that decision, and it is the mayor that hires people that are brighter than him or her to get it done.
Okay, let me, we have, whoever has a license, driving, do we have a description of the car?
Blue Mercedes.
A blue Mercedes, license plate TNGD, need to move your car. Anybody here? One more time. Blue Mercedes, license plate number TGDN. Move your car before it be towed. So we're good?
I think he moved.
Okay. All right. Mr. Goldsmith. Mr. Goldsmith, I apologize.
And I just, as an educator, I have to talk about that answer. First of all, let's just talk about what has been done. And Winona High School right now, they have something called early college. Now, you've heard of early college. That's where you can go to school early and take it and get college credits. But see, you have to look at the clientele you serve. We want economic development, especially in the western side of town. They really need it, but we need it on the east side too. So what we did and what I did, I went like Booker T. Washington. I said, you can go to early college, but you don't just have to go to a four-year school. Lawson State has trades over there that you can take, and they're free. So for absolutely free, a child can come as a freshman and leave with a yeoman degree. They could be a welder, a carpenter, automotive mechanics, automotive sciences, learn to work with their hands, and we have a 90% graduation rate, not because we push them through, it's because they want to get through, because they know they're going to make money at the end. That will feed back into the economy. They will come back home, because if you teach them right, they will return home.
Thank you, Mr. Goldsmith.
Now, you ignored me for about an hour, so I won't give you your business back. I want to reclaim my time, but
I
I'm
got
going to
another
leave.
question for you. No,
All right, let's go.
Stay where you're at. Okay, here's the question. What is your plan to address economic inequality within the city?
I love it.
Please address,
Same
please
answer.
address all three concepts:
Yeah.
income, wealth, and consumption.
All right, let's look at Birmingham right now. Birmingham sits between giants: Hoover, Homewood, Mountain Brook. If you look at them, the average worth of a house is a lot more here. Most of the things that are funded in this city, that especially dealing with education itself, is ad valorem tax.
Yeah.
Meaning that because their houses are more, their income is more, then one house makes more money, that puts more tax dollars back in there for what you need to do. So therefore, when we have degentrification, as they say, and the bank tells you your house is only worth $10,000, they made a donut hole out of you and you don't have any money. So first of all, the thing that needs to be done there is incentives need to be put in to get stakeholders in the city who actually will buy property and bring the property up. As a council person, I can legislate that, but the mayor has the power to execute that.
That's right.
The other thing is, I just talked about early college, educational programs to educate our people. You need to teach a man how to fish and not keep feeding them fish. Because in Birmingham, it seems like people want things for free. You can't get stuff for free and make yourself into a man, because I teach my kids to be a man.
Goldsmith.
Man means meet all needs. You got to ask the third part, but we're good.
Thank you, Mr. Goldsmith. We'll come back around to you. You want to reply to that, please?
Okay.
First of all, this is Kamal Africa again, africa4mail.com. First of all, I'm in this race because black contractors got behind me back in August. I cried over it in June and July, not wanting to do it. They pushed me out here because they saw me as being on the front line, just like Brian saw me and went and dug articles up. I was on the front line. Brian talked about the complaints filed with the DOJ and the Ethics Commission. I was done.
Mr. Kamal, I just said that we will only answer the questions.
Yeah, okay. And sorry about that. But anyway, I've been on top of this thing about the discrimination against black contractors for a very, very long time. I have stood on the front line. I'm going to create something called a race equity index. And today you can't use the word DEI. You can't use it. So you have to be very clever in how you do it in terms of city contracts and everything. And so what you do is you make sure there's equality in terms of hiring practices, retention, and promotion practices. That's what I was going to do. It's called a race equity index quota. Thank you.
I don't understand that you can't use DEI.
You can't
Okay. We've been hearing a lot about transparency and accountability. How would you ensure government transparency and accountability?
Mr. Franklin.
Ms. Kick. Well.
You want me to start?
No, Mr. Franklin.
The first thing that comes to mind is, as a council member in Birmingham, they're getting $100,000 discretionary funds. Nobody in this room can tell you what they do with their $100,000. On day one, I'll let you know what's going on with the $100,000 and where it's spent, because it's your money, not my money. The $3 million is actually documented. The issue and what we need to be asking is, why was it not used for the infrastructure issues that we're faced with in our neighborhoods and our communities? And we also need to hold accountable the people that live on our side, because if you look at what they did in District 5 and District 3, they actually went to a park a couple of weeks ago to work on flooding, but in our side of town, our councilors and our mayor didn't work together to do that for our side of town, and these are the issues that we're talking about. If we just speak up and hold the people accountable when we get in office, hold me accountable for what I just said, because it's not my money, it's your money.
I'm glad you used that word accountability, because that's why me and the current mayor actually fell out about this side of town. Because at the end of the day, what the folk over here know about is, I believe in paperwork. I believe that reading is fundamental. My job is to teach you my job and to show you what it looks like by state law. Your job is to read it and to hold me accountable to do my job. And a part of spending your money, because it is your money at my discretion, I always show my district in writing how it worked for them. I never came to a neighborhood meeting without it being in writing. Reading is fundamental. Don't talk about what we're going to do. Talk about what you've already done, especially when you're elected.
Go ahead.
I'll yield to the mayor. Go ahead. I'll yield to the mayor. One man.
No, I want to do what he says. Oh, excuse me.
Ladies first.
Don't say that. We already got beat up over here about that. But listen, seriously. Accountability. Everybody deserves a level of accountability and transparency. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, everybody deserves, whoever is in public office, first of all, transparency and accountability. But I want to take it just one step further. I'm not calling anyone's name. Reading is fundamental. But what I also just heard is this: hold us accountable, but also let us hold you accountable. Show up at these neighborhood meetings. Show up at city council. Show up in Montgomery. Show up when there is a forum. Show up, make a phone call. So when we're not being held accountable, then you can make sure and check us to make us more accountable to you and to feed you the information that you need. And now that's my making it make sense moment.
I want to say this. We just came through a pandemic. Billions of dollars came over here. And we up here talking about transparency. And we don't know what they did at the state. We don't know what they did at the county. We don't know what they did at the city. And you shouldn't have to come look for me if I work for you. I should be coming back to you and making myself available and saying, this is the money that we have. If we had $3,000 per council district, then that person, that city councilor should have called us to the table and said, here's what I'm thinking. It's on the board. I don't want to play games. When I work over in other cities, when my office was in Mountain Brook, when Jabbo came in, he came in there, yes sir, no sir, and telling people what they say. It's only in Birmingham that they treat us like second-class citizens, like they work for us. They want to lecture us, but they don't have the humility to come and present their plans to us when it's our money. Thank you.
I think the question was about transparency and what can you do to provide that. Again, that definition is I provide you the information before you ask me, which means I am proactive. And as a strategy of mine, I want to bring the 12 neighborhoods together and have quarterly leadership meetings, and let's create an agenda. It's hard to hold someone accountable when you don't have an agenda. We need an agenda because, again, you hire me, which means you have the job description too. What is it that you need? Let's put it on paper, and at the end of 4 years, did I do what the community asked me to do, or did I do what I wanted to do?
That's right.
Go ahead,
Hey, first of all, about accountability, the first thing I would do is try to change the city council meeting time from 9:30 a.m. to evening time when people get off of work. That's the first thing I do. The second thing I would do is hold the city councilors accountable, because it's neighborhood association presidents that go to meetings for free during the once a month, and it's times, it's locations, but people, my generation don't know about it. You know, it's if you know type thing. So I would change it to where I'm publicly telling everybody openly, this is the time, the place, the location where to meet. Come and let your voice be heard.
That's good, Jay. I like that, Jay. Bold. I like that, boy.
I do. Oh, no, absolutely. You know, absolutely.
I mean, we need.
And this question to be for Mrs. Deloach.
The question is, the resources of the citizens of Birmingham are under siege. The Water Board,
Wow.
Authority, the Police Department, Airport Authority, Port Authority. What resistance will or have you implemented to resist the takeover of these vital resources?
Let me just clarify. What happens in Birmingham affects Centerpoint, Bessemer, all over.
Not according to the law. She can't do that.
Okay. We can answer it. Give it a second. We'll give you a new one. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Loge, we'll give you another one. How do you determine the needs of your city?
Well, first of all, you got to go out and work with the people and see what the people's problem is. So I think it need to be more town halls done. when people are accessible and available, and that'll be in the evening time, late in the afternoons, probably around 6:30. Like we have our city council meetings at 6:30 in the evening time. But it need to be more people on the weekends. We can get with the community and talk to the community about how we can make a difference in the community. But the big issue is the people not showing up. Nobody wants to show up. Everybody wanted. I done knocked on so many doors, and you know what they say? I don't know who the mayor is, or I don't know who the city council people is. You know, well, it's at large and everybody's out. But the thing about it is we got to get out and we got to work with the people and for the people. I mean, we can't do anything if we can't work together.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's proper, but that was a good question about authority. Because authorities are state government, is that right?
That's correct.
So we gotta, look at, because what we're saying is very possibly gonna happen if we don't be waiting around. That's right. See the same thing that happened with water.
Absolutely.
Answer that question.
Well, we're gonna move on to the next one because we want to try to get as many of them in as possible questions in. City of Birmingham, Centerpoint, Tarrant, Bessemer, Brighton. These are all small and medium-sized cities struggling financially to provide services to their citizens. Would you advocate for a regional government to share resources, reduce administrative overlap, and to reduce taxes? Absolutely. Mr. Moses.
Oh, no.
Regional cooperation.
Yeah, I think regional cooperation is key. That's why like some of the candidates for District 1 in Centerpoint, in Birmingham, I would love to work with those candidates once the election's over with to see what can we do to collaborate since our cities, our boundaries are so close. And like I know Centerpoint, we have a debris program at Centerpoint, but our debris program isn't working. It's not we're actually losing money on our debris program. So I would love to work with our mayor and our council to see can we partner with Birmingham on picking up debris, for example, in Centerpoint, because what we're doing right now isn't working and it's a strain on our resources. So I do believe in regional cooperation.
Okay. Mr. Hope, will you take the same question?
I believe we should first check out what their policies and beliefs are and get with people with wise counsel. You first have to ask and sit down and have meetings. So if you're going to want to partner with somebody that's regional, you should sit down and make meetings with them to understand what they believe, what you believe, because sometimes it just don't mix. But yes, if everything's right to help the community, if there are policies in there to help the people, because that's what it's all about. It's not about putting money in your pocket, balancing stuff together in your pocket. It's about helping the people. So if it's going to help the people properly and help the kids, and there's things in there to help our community, yes, I wouldn't mind. But we can't get with people and get tricked out of what we have and get tricked out of certain things that we have value. And I would just get with people and understand what their policies are and what their beliefs are.
Okay. Mr. Warmack.
So I do believe from the education standpoint, because a lot of these questions are kind of out of my scope of as a school board member of what we handle. So I don't think because of the fact that as a school board member, I won't be touching none of that. So can I get an educational question?
Well, go ahead, well, let me put it to you like this. That question asks about a regional government, meaning that city council, mayor, school board, having a regional school board would consist of those same school areas, those same districts.
Let me put it this way. Jefferson County has their own school system.
That's right.
Jefferson County school system has nothing to do with Birmingham school system.
That's right.
Once again, I can't answer that question. So now let me put it this way. As a school board member, guess what I can do? I can go and stand before my mayor and my city council and talk about that if you're going to have a collective plan as to how we grow the city, how we bring families back into the city, then I need you to come and sit down with your Board of Education and talk about funding on how you can put in your school system and what that funding looks like, and how we want to make sure that, guess what, the same way we're giving you dollars to educate our children, we want you also to come back and report to us what you're doing with our dollars. Now, in that case, as a school board member, we number one have to make sure that the mayor understand and that the council understand that they are there to advocate for the public, not private, not no other entities dealing with education, private, public. And so with that being said, and I see that I ain't had no time. With that being said, I also believe that what no one's up here talking about is the fact that no one is bringing the education system into the piece when it comes down to how do we make sure that the people that have issues like social economic issues within our city are able to relate that in our classroom. I am a failed product of a system where people did not make sure that the families had what they need. Right. So to answer your question, thank you.
No. Stay right where you're at, because there's a second part to that question there. Charter schools, public schools, both are entities controlled exclusively by the state of Alabama.
That's correct.
Not by the board down in Birmingham, or the board in Jefferson County, anywhere else. Okay, so here's a question to you. Now, we know that public schools, charter schools have been failing our community, kids in our communities for a long time. Mm-hmm. Would you advocate for the abolishment of that school system, public and charter, and would you seek to begin talking with your neighbors, your community as a whole, about establishing an independent school system?
Let me turn around and look you in your face. I love this question. And if you paid attention over the past almost 18 years, Antoine Womack has been forefront. I am a pro-public education candidate. You have private schools that's been in existence for a long time that has never come to the legislature, and no one else to talk about taking public dollars, using them for private education. These charter schools, let's talk about what charter schools are. They're nothing but another level of unaccountability. It's a get-rich scheme, and it is a way to undermine the funding of public education. Do I agree that public education has some issues? Yes, I do. But I also believe charter schools is not the answer. Our public schools are overregulated. They're underfunded. But they also are a target of what we call the prison pipeline. And they already know that, guess what, that if we take the money out the area, we can lock them up. To further answer that question, and I'm going to stop, yes ma'am. To further answer that question, one thing I do believe have to happen, and as the next school board member for District 8, I will make sure that if our superintendent moves from educating and promoting public education, that he find himself to the door. Because if your superintendent don't stand strong against special interests, your board is non-existent. Thank you.
Did you get enough time in your style for me?
enough time. I got my hand.
Did you get enough time, Mr. Womack?
Don't do it.
Hey, I'm gonna just make it quick and simple for y'all. As a mayoral candidate for the city of Birmingham, I would love to work with other cities in this state, but first of all, we have to take care of ourselves first because our city is falling apart.
Okay, I have a question, and I'm going to. Oh, you want to answer? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So let me say this, as a commissioner that presides over 35 cities, if Birmingham doesn't get this election straight on August 26th, you won't have to worry about a City of Birmingham government because it will be regionalized just like your Birmingham Waterworks Board. So I am willing to work with any other city with the understanding you're not going to take over our city.
Hold on to the mic, Ms. Scales. Hold on to the mic.
Oh, you want me to answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
What are your plans to increase African American business opportunities in the city?
So
once you're elected.
Okay, let's talk about, forget once you get elected, let's talk about what I've already done.
Okay.
Number one, when you go to the county courthouse, every Jefferson County facility is cleaned by a black-owned business by the name of Falls Janitorial Company. Yeah. When it comes down to black folks having an opportunity, even with our $2.2 billion investment that we made as relates to ratepayers and this sewer, 15% of that went to black-owned businesses. In addition to that, how you create generational wealth is not through the government. The government's job is to provide equal access according to the law. And what we haven't done as a black race of people, you don't study the law. My job is to teach you the law so you can use the same law, just like Dr. Martin Luther King said, an unjust law is no law at all. So we're going to use the law for black people to have equal access under the law and hold everyone accountable. You understand? Because see, we talk about that, but you better study where these folk getting their money from. If you find out where they're getting their money from, that's whose agenda that they are going to push when they get there. If you're wondering what's happening in Birmingham as we speak, that's because you got Mountain Brook still running Birmingham.
I'm going to speak frank with you.
Okay.
I'm not proud of anything we've done in Birmingham when it comes to economic development and inclusion of black businesses. For years, we were number 50 out of 50 of major cities as far as participation of black businesses. But under this administration, things have changed. We are now number 53 out of 53 major cities for participation. We have failed the business sector. We have less black businesses per 10,000 than the 53 other municipalities in our country. What we've got to do is to be intentional. If we don't have an economic development plan for Roebuck Parkway East to grow the business sectors, for downtown Inslee, for 5 Points West, for North Birmingham, if you don't have a plan for growth, there is no new food to eat. And then we got to take the economic development department, and I'm going to ask the city council, take an oath, spend money in Birmingham first, because they sent over $30 million outside of the city to other businesses. That's wrong.
I've got to ask this question, and I'm probably, Mr. Holmes may get on me, but Ms. Scales, I understand what you've done in the past. What would you do as the mayor of Birmingham? I live in a municipality where every day I drive up and down the municipality and I see new businesses opening, basically new restaurants, and then I see new car washes, and then I've seen new grocery stores. And it's from a minority community. And what would you do to turn Birmingham, make that happen in Birmingham? What would you do? What would you do? What could you do? I mean, do you understand my question, my frustration?
Oh, absolutely, because as the council member, I advocated to make sure what you did in one community, you did it in all. When I stood with this current mayor in 2017, I meant what I still said back then. 99 neighborhoods, 23 communities for us to all grow. You have to be intentional. What I'm saying is, what we keep asking, and I know it's because your heart is in the right place, but see, when you know policy, you recognize the policy got to work for everybody. We can't keep pretending that we're progressing in 2025, but you're using the old antics of the 1960s and 50s and talking about we have overcome. We haven't overcome. You haven't overcome because when you all fall off and you don't hold us accountable. You don't know what our jobs are. We let you tell us what to do, and then we go and snicker and do something else. It's showing up in your neighborhood. Your neighborhood is filthy, crime ridden. Your schools are not performing to their highest level, and you know why? Because when you, the boss, decide to go to sleep, that's when the thief comes. You're gonna make so to answer your question, I just say it again. We at the city, the mayor, has to direct staff that what we need in those particular parts, everyone is tailor-made, north, south, east, and west. You direct the staff. You tell the staff, this is what we have to get accomplished. This is what the people are asking for. They're more than voters, they're taxpayers. Am I making sense? It's really just that simple, though.
Let me answer the question. I think the one I was supposed to answer
Turn it on.
I think the one I was supposed to answer was the one about the black wealth. Is that correct? I want to be in line.
Yes, let me go back to it.
Okay.
All right. What is your plan to address economic inequality within the city? Address all three economic qualities: income, wealth, and consumption. Income, wealth, consumption.
Okay, I thought it was about minorities or something.
Minority participation.
Minority participation. Okay, let me be in line. Whichever one, let me just take it like this. Listen.
What is your plan to increase? Yeah. What is your plan to increase African American business opportunities?
Okay, that's why I just wanted to be in line. First of all, thank you. We shouldn't be still in 2025 trying to figure out how to address minority participation, number one.
That's right.
We should not only have a seat at the table, we ought to own the table. That's number two. Right. But most importantly, we have to develop a plan. Listen, and no offense to anybody in here, we have a plan for white folks. We have a plan for LGBTQ. We have a plan for the Indians, but never a plan for black folks. Make it make sense, everybody. Black people, as I said, and I want to make one correction, 60-something% of Birmingham is black, but there is a percentage of those that are not black, but are brown people, giving us that 70-something% minority. At the end of the day, we should be at the table when the contracts are let. Not only should we be at the table, we should be the ones developing the contracts. We should be the ones building the buildings. We should be the ones running the operations. The point I am simply trying to make, let's take back what's already ours. Make it make sense, Birmingham. At the end of the day, and I'm going to wrap the other question on up, black people. I simply say to us, we not only need to worry about making just $2 an hour, we need to be able to pay $2 an hour, make the $2 an hour, and then pass the $2 an hour along for generational purposes. Then we will continue to have a seat at the table. Lastly, my plan for neighborhoods. First of all, we're going to deal with these contracts. We're going to deal with these incentives. We're going to make sure that the people who look like you in this room have an opportunity to get the first dibs on the contract. If you can't give me a contract, give me an entrepreneurial program. If you can't give me an entrepreneurial program, hire my child for the summer. Those are the things that we should be demanding for our neighborhoods. Then we will be that voice for the people at the table. Thank you. All right.
When it comes to black businesses, first of all, we can't say black in order to be within policy. We have something called the Amendment 772. If it adds to economic development, we can give, we can support. If we have hurting communities, and we have them everywhere, let's focus on the hurting communities. Who are in the hurting communities? Who are in the neglected communities? So let's get these funds to these communities where we need economic development. Let's focus on where we have a mandate in our city ordinance that says we must protect property values. Who are in these communities? I do not have to call them black. Who are in these communities? Who are neglected?
Okay. Mr. Franklin, this one is for you.
Mr. Franklin, and we know you can answer this. Again, the resources of the citizens of Birmingham are under siege. The Water Board, the Water Board Authority, the Police Department, the Airport Authority. What resistance will you have to implementing to resist the takeover of these vital resources? And not only Mr. Franklin, Mr. Holt.
Well, first, I hope everybody pays attention to me. When I found out about the waterworks, I drove down there every time. Nobody from the city opened their mouth. When we talk about regional cooperation, what you got to understand, in 1970 and 71, when the city was integrating and the whites were moving away, they had a campaign called One Great City, and it didn't pass by one vote. So you have to understand it's about economics. So we have to elect people, not just myself, that's going to speak up for Birmingham, that's going to speak up for Centerpoint. Why do you say Centerpoint, Richard? Because Centerpoint used to be in the city of Birmingham. You also must understand, when we talk about economic and all our resources, we as the Birmingham Council and Mayor, we appoint to everything you just named. Let me say it again. We appoint to every board she just named. They're going to come after our airport authority. They did it in Jackson. It's a short amount of time I'm saying, but I'm saying you have to elect people that's willing to fight. And I'm going to give a little tidbit. On my job every day, I always tell my members this. If you're not going to stand up and speak for yourself, then I cannot put you in a position to speak for yourself. I'm going to say it to everybody in this room. If you elect people who are not going to speak up, they're going to talk nice, but they're not going to stand up for you. You're going to get your waterworks taken over. You're going to get your airport authority taken over. You're going to get the Birmingham port taken over. It's already happening right now. But I give you a solution before I sit down. Every other city that surrounds us, when you touch east, west, south, and north, when Birmingham touches Centerpoint, when Birmingham touches Midfield and Fairfield, I'm going to take those two. I'm going to also take in my district, when you get off Lord Nolan, the thing we talk about regional cooperation that we control in our areas is that we don't work together. In those areas, we touch another city. That's when we should be working together. There's no reason that I get off Lord Nolan, and most people don't know this. If you get off that exit, it's not Birmingham when you turn right. It's Fairfield. There used to be a Burger King. There used to be a Subway. It's closed. Then you cross over, it's McDonald's. You had a Wingo's Chicken, Church's Chicken, and Taco Bell. It's closed. That's Birmingham. But guess what? Birmingham and Fairfield didn't talk together. So before they take us over, what we're in control of, let's work together. We have people in this room because we're close to Centerpoint. But one of the things every mayor candidate and every council person, what we need to do for our interests in these areas is don't just talk about working together to get elected. Let's, when we get in office, let's work together. Because guess what? They coming to take it. And if you don't believe me, go back and read how they did it with the waterworks and watch what they doing with the airport. And if you don't believe what I'm talking about, look in your paper. Because I went down, they was trying to figure out how I got to the Port Authority meeting, and Commissioner Scales was there as well. We saw it. They coming for our money, they coming for our assets, and they're draining us. But we control our money right now, so we need to make sure that we work together to invest on the quarters of each one of our cities. Because everywhere where it's black people, it's not a quarter being invested. Thank you.
Thank you for out of respect for everybody's time. It's about 8 minutes to 4 o'clock, and we decided that we will shut it down at 4. I certainly appreciate everyone coming out here. I hope everyone enjoyed the program. Yes, ma'am. I just want let me thank everybody for coming out. And like I said, we plan to do this again in each district all the way across, 1 through 9.
Yeah.
That's if y'all want this information. And of course, this is the first one, and you know we. Off a little bit, but with a show of hands, what y'all think about it? Okay. All right, so with that said, each candidate will have, I hate to say 30 seconds because
30 seconds.
So 30 seconds, but 30 seconds To wrap it up, tell us where we can find you. If you just let us know what's going on.
Give us a minute.
1 minute. Everybody with 1 minute? 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. We're going to start over here and we work our way back around.
It's a Black Baptist preacher. I'm closing. All right. I'm asking for your vote. I'm asking to earn your vote. I'm asking you to visit my webpage, hatandfade.com. There you will find my platform. And it's real simple. No promises, offering perspectives. Those 4 perspectives are cornerstone to what I believe are core values in Birmingham. Number 1, that's to make the offices transparent, accountable, and relatable to the people. When you call my office, you'll get a response. And it may not be what you want, but it's going to be an answer that you need to receive. Number 2, I want to invest and implement in real mental health partners throughout the city, but especially in District 8. Number 3, I want to innovate and create a District 8 initiative through a nonprofit to do what Woodlawn has done to reinvest and revitalize their community. And number 4, I want to partner with the community leaders and make sure that we're sitting at the table to get a collective agenda, that way we can get with the business community and create the community in District 8 we want to see.
Thank you all for the opportunity to talk. I want to build a Birmingham that works for you. We've got 32,000 seniors, but we don't have a seniors department that's working with our seniors to make sure that they're okay.
All right.
We need a youth services that turns into an actual youth services program that provides opportunities. Our children have nothing to do. And a little boy kicked my door the other day. I said, "Why'd you do it?" He said, "We were just trying to have fun." I'm sorry, sir. The third thing, we've got to rebuild our police department. Bottom line, I'm not saying spend more money because they're already allocating the money, not spending it and then putting it somewhere else. We've got to rebuild our public works to stop the flooding. We've got to make sure we fix our streets, y'all. This isn't magic. We can do that. And we've got to make sure that we build a city that has you in mind. For our businesses, we'll be there to help you. For our nonprofits, we will help you so we can take care of our homeless and we can take care of the mental illness issues that my brother talks about. Thank y'all. God bless you.
Okay, I'm running for District 1 where we stand right now. I've been in this district for over 25 years and I want to keep my house. That's the main thing. I want to stay where I'm at. I love where I live. I love this community. But I also know that we have a swimming pool we can't swim in because for some reason they can't fix the locker rooms. We have code enforcement with no code enforcement officers. We only have 60-some officers for this district when at one time we had over 100 and something. We had someone murdered right down at the end of the street. With a girl murdered on basically your cell phone in the apartments down the street in Apple Valley. We need change. And I'm simply asking you this. On this, there's nothing that says I ever ran for office, and I never did. I despise politics. But when the Lord says that you need to do something when no one else does, because the workers are few and the workers many, I want to be your voice. I want to be your worker. And that's it, and thank you.
I want to thank everyone for coming out here today. I've lived in this area for 30 years. For those of you all who knew me as your council member, I want you to know I've always worked for you and will continue to work for you. I have a real simple saying that others will make campaign promises. The one promise that Scales has always made and I lived up to is that I will always work for you. Tuesday, August 26th is a critical election. We can't go by what people say. You watch by what they do. And more importantly, they are not the enemy. Look at the one who holds the office and didn't think enough of you today to come see about you. So I'm saying you and I, when we work together, we're going to do what? Take back what? Our city. Take back what? Our city. Tuesday,
August 26th, LaShonda Scales gonna be your voice and your worker, and together we gonna take back our city.
Go to my website, Africa, AFRIKA, mayor.com. Go to the menu page. Click on the About page. Look at the 16 points of community service. You can put all of the mayoral candidates combined, and they don't count to the 40 years of community service records. I was the first one in the race out here campaigning in August. I was the first one to talk about raising minimum wage. It's right here on the card. It's right there on my website. I was the first to do that. I was the first that the black contractors, the only one actually, that the black contractors came to for a reason, because they knew I was the strongest. I am for this entire city. I'm a stakeholder in this city. I didn't just move in this city to run. I live here. I'm from Smithfield. My daddy opened up equal pay for a zip code in 1965. I was 10 years old, and I watched him sit in the window to protect our home from Ku Klux Klan's bombing on Dynamite Hill, it's called. It's in my blood to fight for you. We have to make a critical decision to pick one person to go into City Hall. Thank you. God bless you. Hosea 4:6, for my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Make it make sense, Birmingham. It's simple. Look at our neighborhoods, look at our communities, look at our services. Rent stabilization is needed. Rent is at an all-time high. People can barely pay rent. Our gas stations, the streets, inundated with homelessness, prostitution, and every degree of loitering. Get off the interstate, someone begging. Go into the neighborhood, someone is begging. People who are living in our houses squatting. Make it make sense, Birmingham. Potholes, raggedy streets, paper, litter, brush, and debris, overgrown lots. Make it make sense, Birmingham. If you always do what you always done, you're going to always get what you always got. If this administration loves you, they'll come see about you. If they love you, they'll take care of you. If they love you, they'll keep you clean. At the end of the day, you have the answer to that particular question. On August 26th, you either going to keep what you have or you're going to try something new. At the end of the day, for me, my motto is simply this. Make it make sense, Birmingham. Birmingham, it's time. We are what? Coming. We are what? Coming. We are what? Coming. Gavan, 2025, Mayor of the City of Birmingham. Thank you.
Brian K. Rice, commercial property owner, mechanical engineer, 20 plus years of nothing but mentor. The first thing I'm going to do is invest in the hurting communities. The second thing I'm going to do is make sure we protect all taxpayers. We're going to change that Mayor-Council Act. We're going to give all city councilors their power that they deserve, so the citizens have their power they deserve. When it comes to takeovers, we're going to make sure that city council has their own lobbyists down there in Montgomery. We're going to make sure they have their own attorney. There's no reason why a city of this size does not have an attorney for the executive branch and the legislative branch. I'm going to recommend that. I can do that with my power. I can make the recommendations. I am going to focus on crime prevention, about reaching the man, reaching the woman before they breach the next law. I do not want them to go to prison. I want them to be improved. I want to alter destructive outcomes. That is the only reason I'm in Birmingham, Alabama. I've lived in Charlotte. I've lived in Houston, Milwaukee, Richmond, Virginia, all these places. I'm bringing all of that to Birmingham to improve our communities. Brian K. Rice.
Once again, my name is Jeremy Littlepage. I'm here today representing my generation and the generation to come. The reason why I'm running for mayor of Birmingham, because most of you in this room own houses, or probably have houses in other states. My generation in this city, we're renting apartments, and apartments are too high for us to afford. I'm trying to create home affordability and accountability. Nobody has held anybody accountable in public office right now about all the murders that have been happening. My generation is getting wiped out, and most of them are males with kids, newborns. Nobody is talking about that. So I want to focus on bringing new leadership in and creating a new future for the next generations and generation to come. because nobody talks about that. We're talking about now and what happened, but we don't even have a future for my generation. So I'm trying to set up a new generational takeover to where we can be able to make real change and see real change. Because most of these problems that we're currently talking about are from the 90s, 80s, 70s, and it's 2025.
Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm Jasmine Deloach. I'm running for Centerpoint City Council District 1. I want to be that voice. I want to work for the people and with the people. And not only for the people and with the people that live there, I want to work with the stakeholders. Because you got to understand, your key stakeholders are the ones that bring in the people for you to work with and for. Listen, Centerpoint have so many things that need to be done. First of all, we need to clean up our city.
That's true.
The city is it's not up to par. I hate when I even tell people to come visit me to my home because it's overgrown weeds, overgrown everything. I mean, we are not cleaning up like we should. My mom always said, keep your house clean.
I hear you.
And guess what? If you keep your house clean and you fix up the public safety problem, then the city can flourish and a lot of businesses and people will want to move in and out. So I'm trying to work with the people. Jasmine Deloach, District 1, Centerpoint City Council. Thank you.
Richard Franklin. My telephone number is 205-243-4177. If you live in District 9, go to Richard Franklin for District 9. I prepared a statement to close today. District 9 is not forgotten. We're not broken. We're not beyond repair. We're full of promise. I'm Richard Franklin. You may say, why do you keep saying you're Richard Franklin? Because I've done a lot in my short time on this earth. I'm the only candidate that's up here that's running for council, but I've worked with mostly everybody that's been in office, as a union leader and as a neighbor. You may say, why is that important? I'm running for District 9 because I bring balance, but I also bring an insight of solution driven to understand our issues and also to have solutions. We have to take a stand. In District 9, I told you, and I had you raise your hand, everybody's touched the quarters. You've even heard me speak outside my scope as a council person of my vision. But on August 26th, we need to bring all of this together so we can get to work and be ready day one for District 9. Vote Richard Franklin for Birmingham City Council, District 9. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure being here. Thank you for the opportunity to address this body. So we all know that Birmingham is now at a place where we no longer have control. Other people now have gotten in our house and they have control. No one is talking about how the state came in and took over Birmingham City Schools to create these charter schools. And don't think they ain't coming back.
That's right.
And with that being said, I know exactly what we have to do to keep them out. And I'm not making any promises, but one thing I am telling you is that I will get on every media outlet to let people know what is happening to public education. Our test scores have gone up. Our schools and Birmingham City Schools are fiscally sound. And lastly, guess what? Our schools also have teacher aides in them. Let's not go backwards. Let's make sure we put individuals that are able to do that. I'm Antoine Womack, and I am ready to serve District 8. Thank you.
Very quick, last one, say I'm Joseph Holt, running for District 4. And I want to look at the camera, look at everybody, and tell you that if you're in District 4, we're in trouble.
Yes.
We don't have no representation. That we're laughing stock because of our representation. Citizens are filthy. Our elderly are fighting squatters with their brooms and bring their guns out their pocket. This is no lie. We're in trouble. And you have to elect somebody that cares about you and really gonna do something for you. What am I? Can I promise you? I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I'm gonna look to people like Ms. Scales, who I have a lot of respect for, learn what she did in council so she can tell me what I'm doing right and wrong. You need to be mentored when you're doing something like this, and I'm for the people, and I mean it, and we need help, everybody. Yes. If we leave the person in there, we're going to suffer.
Yes,
so thank you.
And as we close, and we leave this land, let's leave in prayer.
Let us all stand for prayer. Our Father God, we thank you now for this assembly of aspiring leaders for our city. And Lord, we pray right now that you would lead, guide, and direct us all in the direction that you would have us to go. We pray right now, God, that your hand is in this election and everything that goes forward, God. Touch the minds of your people, that right choices and right decisions are made. God bless each and every one of these leaders in their leadership aspiration, that they would understand that they need to be, first of all, led by you. For your word declares that a man devises his plan, but the Lord orders his steps. So God, we pray right now that you order the steps, for the word, your word says that the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. So God, we pray right now for righteousness in leadership, that not good decisions are made, but God decisions are made. And God, we thank you again for this assembly, and we pray that we all leave blessed and we have received what we were seeking for. This we ask in Jesus' name, and for his sake we pray. Amen.